how do you make sure your clients don't show up late to meetings and don't cancel or reschedule at the last minute? By making sure to include a clause in all of your freelance contracts that state your late policy and state your cancellation or rescheduling policy in clear, plain English. This way you can both align, both parties can say, I understand, I agree on those terms, I value your time as a client, and I want you as the client to value my time as the freelancer. Pretty straightforward. So in the late policy clause in my contracts, I basically say, if you are more than 10 minutes late to any meeting or session, then it counts as a completed session. It counts as me being compensated for that time, for the full hour, for the full length or duration of that time we've scheduled. The project will move forward even though you did not show up. This is because there's no heads up. If I'm just sitting there twiddling my thumbs in a Zoom for 10 minutes or more, the meeting's over and it does count towards the project's completion. This has really incentivized most clients to show up and show up on time. Plus, there's wiggle room to say, oh, okay, life happens. You can be 2 minutes, 3 minutes late here. I'm not a drill sergeant. I'm not your parent. You're a grown adult. I'm not trying to micromanage you here, but I am giving you some grace, but there is a limit to being flexible because I do not want it to be at my expense and the project's expense. And then also when it comes to my rescheduling and last minute cancellation policy, here's what I have in my contract word for word. I'm going to read right from the contract. To keep the project on track, if you reschedule more than one session with less than 24-hour notice, then it will count as a completed session. So I'm basically saying I'm open for you to reschedule or cancel in terms of the project timeline if you give me more than 24 hours heads up so I can account for that time lost on my schedule and move things around and account for all my responsibilities. So earlier in the week, you can reschedule a meeting with me later in the week. Not a big deal. Or cancel it and move it to another time. Not an issue. And in fact, I even say if you reschedule more than one session with less than 24 hours notice. So I'm giving you a one free pass, get out of jail card to cancel at the last minute one time because again, life happens, not a big deal. But if you do it more than once, then it's going to count as a completed session. I'm going to be compensated for that full duration of that time that we had allocated. So basically, this is all to push the client in a positive way to value their time and mine and make sure they're more organized, that they're less, in disarray, and that they show up on time for meetings and don't cancel too much at the last minute.